Right, I have no idea how this works. I haven't looked at a walkthrough. What's that? Axe. Why is it so... Oh, I see. Items you can't interact with are small, and items you can are big. I reckon we should just go for non-stop spears until I work out how it's going to work. Whose equipment am I making? So he's equipped with a lance at the moment. Right, let's change that then. Bit laggy here, so we want to make a spear. To make equipment for Danterez will cost 9,000 gold, yes. I promise you won't be disappointed, leave the golden material here. I like you, so I'll get started straight away. Oh. This is gonna take forever. The work is complete. Here's the silver spear. I've already got a fucking silver spear. That's trash. That is absolute trash. Are you joking? Fine, we'll try Sybil's. Another fucking silver spear! I might have to look up a walkthrough. I must be doing something wrong. Right, there's a small mithril then. Let's try small mithril or a black matter. Small mithril. This is rare. I can do something very nice with this. Whose equipment am I making? Danterez's equipment. It'll cost 15,000 GP. No, 1,500 GP. Powering? Well, that's very, very nice. Actually, I didn't... So we can turn the small mithrils into items. So is Danterez equipped with that ring? No, he's got a protect bracer. Okay, that's weird. I don't know how that works. However, he hasn't made a fucking spear. That's what's most important. Right, this dark matter, I want you to make me a spear. I don't have 14,000 gold. Okay, well let's go sell the crappy power spears. Remember, I have saved it, so it's not the end of the world. Is this deliberately to make it take as long as possible? Hiding the shops in a different building? Well, at least we make a profit on the power ring. We should probably have kept them those for a variety. Right. Hopefully this is enough money. Halberd, I wanted a fucking spear, you dickhead. He didn't even have a fucking halberd. Oh my god. This is fucking dumb. What? I mean, I'm obviously missing how it works. I don't really know how else I can investigate it, though. Maybe I was supposed to use the dark matter on Sybil, but I don't even have any halberds or lances. And why does the mithril make a silver spear? Wouldn't silver make a silver spear and mithril make a mithril spear? I'm really confused. Now it's a counter spear, so there is just some degree of randomness to it then. Right, so how does the counter spear compare to the silver spear? Worse. It's fucking worse. It's obviously rarer, but it's fucking worse. So how many different kinds of things can I get from these then? So if I equip him with the counter spear, do I get a different spear still? I think I'm probably just going to read, find a PDF or something and read through how it works, because otherwise I'll be here forever. Oh, it's the silver spear again. No, it's a... So are there just two kinds of spears then? Another silver spear. Okay, I'm not really sure we've learnt anything from this, have we? Other than there's two kinds of spears, and the dark matter spear makes a halberd. And the small mithrils make secondary items. However, the powering is pretty good. So, I mean, at least that's something I can make reliably. What I'm going to do is I'm going to read a tutorial, and I'll be back. I'm sorry that kind of takes away from the blindness. But I did my best to work it out on my own. And I don't get it. I'll be back. Right, I found myself a little tutorial. And thankfully I haven't seen any spoilers for the rest of the game, so that's nice. This FAQ is by that guy. So if you want to find it, you can find it yourself. What's important is this list here. So for each weapon type, you can make them all out of mithril. And there are three options. The options he's starred are the best options. They are filed by, if you were to buy them, how expensive they are. So one would assume the bottom ones are the best. They're also largely what the author of the FAQ has liked. Now, we need to decide, because we have a limited amount of money. In fact, we have way more money than we have mithril. We can, of course, grind out money. That's not too difficult. We can do that, assuming we don't move on from the blacksmith. Now, when I was trying to investigate, we were using spears. As you can see, in the spear section, there are 3 spears. I don't know how many we made. I would guess 10, and we didn't see any of the bottom spear. Now, I don't really have time or the will to just do it over and over and over. I mean, we've done it 10 times, and we didn't get one. Let's say 10 times. Right, maybe on the next go we'd have got it. Probably not. So let's assume, let's say 1 in 15 times you get the item you actually want. So for me to get 2 Rune or Lancelot spears, that's going to be 15 squared. Oh, let me do the maths, let's guess. Because the FAQ doesn't seem to know what the odds are. $225 fucking times. Right, I can tell you right now, I'm not doing it 225 times. I'm just not. So if you wanted an LP where someone has all the best weapons, this is not going to be it. I wish I would have got a Rune or a Lancelot spear, but I didn't. And I've not got access to save states, and I'm not going to do it 225 times. So, with that out of the way, let's see what we actually do want. Now, you cannot see the Saturn's output. I think it will probably confuse me recording the desktop if I do that. It's an assumption, but it's probably a pretty safe assumption. So you're just going to have to trust me. I can change and I can see the Saturn, as I've got a loop through. So let's have a look. Now, Symbios, he has the Phoenix Sword, which is pretty good. So we can leave that alone. Danterez has the Gale Lance, which as we can see on our list is already a mithril item, and a Silver Spear, which as we know on our list is already a silver item, so we can move on. Mascarin has a magic wand, but when I promote her, she'll get the Holy Ankh with Aura. Now that is an excellent spell. We're not going to worry about a new weapon for Mascarin. Grace has the Talisman Rod, which if I remember rightly gives her freeze, which is also excellent. Plus, she's probably off the party as soon as we get the access to a ninja, so we don't have to worry about her. Hayward the Sniper is currently equipped with a heavy quarrel, which is not special, so if I can afford it, we'll get a quarrel for Hayward. Both of our archers, we just tried whatever weapons were available to us for a long time until we got some with range, so they're not really specialised in any of them. So Hayward needs a heavy quarrel, he needs a weapon. Irene has a Magna Glove. Oh, is that special? I got to change back to my desktop. Where are gloves? Oh, that's not a special glove. A spike glove, a muscle glove, or a spark glove. Okay, so we can try a glove. Let me get a... In fact, I can do it on here somehow. Ah, she's called Irene, not Grace. Grace is the priest. Right, Sybil the Knight has a poleaxe and a battle spear. Well, we know the spear isn't right. Let's check if a battle axe is right. Poleaxe, my god. I'm an idiot. Right. None of those are a special polearm. So we also need a polearm and a spear. I'm going to quit. I was trying to be clever using full screen for the web page, but it's not really working out, so I'm going to give up on that. No, we need Eldar. He's got a battle wing. We probably do want to try a different ring because the wings, they're so he's so weak that a slight improvement for Eldar is probably worth the money, so we'll take a special wing. Noon has the Wendigo wand, which I quite like. If anything, he'd be better with a healing or support spell, But for the time being, I like the Wendigo wand. We're going to stick with Noon as he is. Oh, Justin also has a heavy quarrel. They're both equipped with quarrels. Whoops, I just bashed the microphone. They're both equipped with heavy quarrels. I don't think that's particularly good. That must have been the best at wherever the last item shop is. That's just a consequence of trying all the different item types out, isn't it? So in fact, it might be worth mind you, I have no way of forcing them to make arrows or shells at the moment because I can't buy any items. I was going to say we could experiment with the arrows and the quarrels and the shells and decide which is best. But I don't have any arrows or shells to experiment with, and the weapon shop is closed down, so we can't investigate Justin or Hayward. Horst has the Revenge Mace. We like the Revenge Mace. Frank has a Mithril Claw. I'll have to check on the list for a Mithril Claw. Mithril Claw is already a special weapon, so I don't care that much about him. It's very confusing. I'm sorry, it's me. Because I want to go onto the Saturn screen, but obviously it's not a window. I've got to prod the monitor and it doesn't come naturally. Ah, and that's our whole list. So, Symbiosis' sword, we're happy. Dan Therez's spear, we're happy. Willance is happy. Masquerade I'm going to leave alone. Grace I'm going to leave alone. Both the archers could go for a new weapon. Irene can go for a new weapon. Sybil needs 2 new weapons. Eldar needs a new weapon. And that's it. So we haven't got that many. Ooh, I pressed Alt and Tab when I wanted to press the screen. I wonder what you guys are looking at. Oh, it's alright. You're looking at the right thing. I'm so concentrating on talking rubbish that I haven't made a good note here. Still, I've decided what I'm doing. I'm going to update the note and then I'll be back with a proper picture for you. Okay, so for our first go, let's investigate the halberds. The Lord Halberd? That sounds really good. Is that one of our on our good list? Oh, you haven't been promoted yet. Ah. Still, we can compare the effectiveness of the different halberds anyway, because Dan Therez knows what a halberd is. If I can shuffle everything about. Don't have a lot of free spaces here. Can you swap directly with Sybil? Yes, you can. I don't have enough free squares. Oh, this is trash, man. This is so hard work. I know I filled my inventories up. Oh my god, this is going to take forever. This must have been done just to make this take even longer, mustn't it? It's either a terrible bit of design or it's deliberate just to piss you off. running ring isn't worth a lot, that's a surprise. Oh, I need to keep that to see if things are better or worse, don't I? I need to sell some of Danterez and Sybil's stuff too. Oh yeah, she needs promoting. Still, I can do that anyway. Well, the Lord's halberd isn't very rare, it would appear. Well, I think we've learnt about the just the odds of getting the third item. Clearly, absolutely tiny. Right, so she's currently got a poleaxe. The Lord's halberd is not amazingly better. The Holy Halberd has regen, which is really, really good, actually. The Holy Halberd is well worth having. And it gives plus defense, which is very good. Now the Dark Halberd says it has a special attack. I don't know what one that is. And I don't really care that much for these random events because they're not reliable enough. Of the 3, and obviously there's 4, but we're never ever going to see number 4. I think the Holy Halberd is just as good. I think what I'll do is I'll keep going until I've got a Holy Halberd and save, and that's one decision made, isn't it? Okay, so I decided to go for Irene's gloves next, which only cost 5,000 a turn, which is nice because it meant I could make loads of them. And I've got the odds for you of what I made here. So I made 2 muscle gloves, I made 6 spiked gloves, and I made 1 spark glove. So I don't know how accurate that is representative overall. But so we made 8 items, and one of them was the 3rd rare drop. Now, this is one of the exceptions where the person who made that walkthrough didn't like the 3rd option, it went for the 2nd option. But we can decide for ourselves. So, that was what we had before, Magna Glove, special attack, and lots of pluses. Oh, it had the highest attack. So of all of them, the highest attack was what we already have. It also gives us criticals and counters and special attacks. Oh, that gives us loads of stuff. Spark if used, so it doesn't teach her the spell Spark, you can use it, which gives Spark. So that gives more critical, doesn't have a special attack. That does have a special attack and it gives you attack if it's used. That gives you defense as well. Oh, you fucking cable, fucking dickhead. Right. There's not really a lot to choose from between them, it only costs 5,000. But to be honest, between all 4 of these weapons, there's very little to choose. It's pretty much a case of take your pick, isn't it? And rather than spend 5,000 gold when I don't have a lot, I'm probably not going to take any. But if that's representative of what the pinnacle of the items gives you, it's not really objectively better than the others. If it taught her the spell Spark, and if you press down when you cast spells it gives you access to Spark, I would probably take it. But that doesn't look like how it works. It looks like you can go into the use item menu and then cast Spark, which is still nice, but eventually it'll damage the item. Spark resistance is so rare that we probably don't need it. Although Spark is an amazingly devastating spell on my party, the chance of it happening is so infrequent that it's not worth setting her inventory up for that. So I think I'm going to keep with the Magna Glove, but that is useful information. Now, I got really lucky when doing Eldar's equipment. I made 1 Sylph Ring, I made 2 Cosmic Wings, and I made 1 Sonic Ring. So let's have a look at these 4 then. So before we had the Battle Ring, which gives 5341. Oh, well the Sonic Wing is way better than the Battle Ring. As is the Sylph Wing. As is the Cosmic Ring. So they're all way better than what we had before. I think I'd take the Regen, to be honest. I like... Mind you, they all have pretty similar stats. I think it's between these 2. Yeah, I don't see why you'd take the Cosmic Ring over the Sonic Wing. So it's not a huge amount to choose between all these, but I think I like the Sylph Wing the most. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to make a Sylph Wing, and then I'm going to save the game. But I also had to go at making some arrows. So we have the Dark Matter arrow, which is one of them. Ah, that's the Cinder Cantarella. And we've got 2 uncursed arrows. So, oh, well, the normal arrows are better than the cursed arrow. We don't know what his special attack is, but these both have special attacks too. Berserk is bad, I think. I think we have seen Berserk. I'm going to say I think Berserk is bad. However, it looks like I also made a quarrel just for comparison. Looks like he's better with quarrels and arrows anyway. Yeah, so we want to try and make some quarrels for him. But maybe he's better at shells. We might have to leave these guys. But that cursed weapon is rubbish. Why would you want the cursed one? It's more expensive. It's not as good. And on that bombshell, let me go and make myself a new wing. Okay, so my attempts to get the Sylph wing have failed twice in a row. Incidentally, my attempt to get the Holy Halberd worked straight off. But I did, rather than waste my time, I thought I'd have a go at getting all 4 spears, and I've got them all. Well, 3 spears really. This is a normal spear. Now the counter spear is a bit worse in attack than the other 2. It gives counter plus 20, which sounds really good, but I rarely have the spear equipped. It's a sort of an emergency thing. Most of the time I have the melee weapon equipped, so that's not really that useful. The silver spear is critical, which is good, because that's when I'm attacking, which is when I have the spears equipped. Now the rune spear gives a passive resist and a special attack, so we don't know what the special attack is, but again, resistance isn't that common, and I don't really know what a light attack is. Unless it's meant to be spark resist, I'm not sure. Or if there's light and dark attacks, we don't seem to get a lot of light attacks. So, to summarise, there's not a lot to choose from the 3 spears either. Counter spear is the worst, but between the other 2, not a lot to choose between them, so silver spear is absolutely fine. Okay, so that's our review of the mithril weapons decided. So next, let's decide what we're going to do about our small mithril. You can use them to craft accessories. Now, I guessed if I was to do it on Danterez again, I'd get another power ring. But that is not the case. It is purely random, which is absolute trash. So I'm guessing the odds are a lot better here. It's 1 in 6 chance you'll get the right thing. But I don't really want to faff around with it, to be honest. Now, if we have a look, the Gale Ring and the Power Ring are good. In fact, they're better than most of my items that I've already got. Master Ring I don't really care about. Protect Ring is okay, but it's not that different from the items I've got, so it gives Death plus 5. Our ones we've got about plus 3-ish, so it's okay. It's probably a bit better than what I've got, but I'm not going to spend a lot of time seeking it out. Now, the Magic Ring, this one here on the list, does actually look good to me. Look, it restores MP. We don't have any items that restore MP. There are special items, some of which we have that restore MP, but I don't really use them, so a Magic Ring might well be good. So we'll have to consider that. Attack Ring I don't really care about. So, what does it say at the bottom? I didn't really read this. Oh, so the odds of those are going to be absolutely tiny. You should be considered lucky to get one of these. I mean, considering our luck on rolling a spear, we didn't get one, and actually they don't look that amazing anyway. So for the time being, I'm just not going to go for crafting accessories whatsoever. No interest at all. So now we come to the dark matter. The dark matter we can use to make a cursed item. So that's quite interesting. We can make a dark sword. I think we've seen a dark sword. I don't think I was super impressed with it. We can make a dark halberd. And of course we have got to decide on a halberd that we want. Because we want a halberd for Sybil. So I think we should create the dark halberd, as many mithril halberds as we can, and then we'll know a bit more about how to make a decision about what we want. We don't care about rods. I'm quite happy with the spells I've got access to. Oh, that's interesting. I can make a bow, so that's essentially an arrow, isn't it? I don't have any other options to make an arrow, so that might be interesting too. So we have got a few loads to do here. But our first thing is to try and investigate halberds, I think. So I'll see you back in the game. So the final shopping list we've come up with is an arrow, a quarrel, or a shell for Hayward. The only way we have access to arrows if it's a dark matter. Irene has a glove, any glove. It may or may not be worse than a magna glove, we don't know yet. Sybil needs a halberd, which is one of the things I can make from dark matter. Sybil also needs a spear. Eldar needs a wing, any wing. And we've also got a choice of weapons for Justin. So if we check back against our shopping list, we've got basically everything we want, apart from our archers, which we can't do until we have access to a shell. So we kept the Phoenix sword. Dan Therese already had 2 special items. We're keeping you and you. Hayward we haven't dealt with. We preferred the Magna Glove on balance of spending money. Sybil's got a Holy Halberd and a Silver Spear, which she can't use till she's promoted. I'd say Eldar was the biggest benefit, really. So yeah, it took me quite a long time, and the editing will take me longer. I've also sorted everyone's inventory out, so let's get going. Sorry if that coughing fit. Very good. It's right this way. I'll record this whole section, and then I'll chop it up afterwards. Well, this is the nicest castle we've seen, I think. Lord Symbios, you have been to Mallory Castle many times, and you know the waiting room is not this way. Our head of state, Lord Tristus, is extremely busy. Please wait for him in the waiting room. So, you would like to pass. You may be familiar with the castle, but for now, please wait in the waiting room. Lord Symbios. Oh, that's the same loops. Lord Symbios. Oh, these all say the same, do they? Oh. So, which of the Bull's-End sect is he then? A suspicious man got into the castle yesterday, so we've stepped up security. Sorry for the inconvenience. This is the waiting room. Please relax here until Lord Tristus arrives. Well, that does it. He's locked the door behind him. This is obviously a trap, Lord Symbios. Oh, yeah. That is exactly right, Lord Symbios. I came here to investigate, but why didn't you wait until I contacted you? So, you are alive, Murasame? It takes a lot to kill me, said Dan Therese. What? Yeah. Mallory is worse off than we thought. Lord Tristus is a prisoner here, and Braff has his son. Braff, the son of Fafard? What do you mean Braff has Algernon? Has he been kidnapped? That appears to be the situation. After meeting with Lord Tristus, he asked that I hurry to Aspia to spy on Braff and the Imperial Army. So Braff really is guilty. To think the son of a Republican general could do such a thing. You mean, you're an idiot? Because General Fafard did such a thing. He's a we should totally have ripped him to fucking shreds and posted him in bits to his son. If he is connected to the Empire, Aspia has been betrayed. It seems his mother's blood still flows in him. And his father! His father betrayed us as well! Duke Palsis, have you been telling everyone the story of Braff's birth? When Fafhar was young, he fell in love with a young Bullzone priestess. It was a very passionate affair. The priestess gave birth to a son, then disappeared. Fafhar was devastated and never married. I heard General Fafhar's wife died during childbirth. Stories were circulated to hide the truth. Fafhard couldn't admit he had an affair with the Bullzone priestess. Her name is Basanda. She's now a high priestess of the Bullzone sect. What? The Basanda? Dan Torres, you know of her? I see, then you know how terrifying Basanda is. It is a miracle you are all still alive. I heard that story when I was captured in a town called Sorrow, Basanda's birthplace near Bullzone Temple. Well, this makes what Braff said in the castle a little more understandable. Ah, yeah, Braff. That kid that was going to betray us. In any case, this is no time for a wrong conversation. You being rocked out is also Braff's doing. Now that he's managed to seal us off from the rest of the castle, our enemies must be waiting for us outside. Wouldn't you agree, Murasame? We will need to hold Wilmer off until you can bring in the rest of our force, Murasame. Until then, we will probably be greatly outnumbered. I'll bring them as quickly as I can. Alright, please do your best. Then I go. Oh. Our only option is the courtyard, and Wilmer's forces will be waiting for us outside. That must mean the soldiers left inside the castle are the ones Wilmer doesn't trust. Yes, those would be soldiers who are still loyal to Lord Tristus. I see. That means perhaps we can get the loyalists to pull some strings for us. Alright, we understand the plan. Let's go confront Wilmer's army, shall we, Symbios? That wasn't the world's best locking us in a cell. They seem to have a very large force to counter just the three of us. Finally, you have arrived, Lord Symbios. I guess you realise no matter how long you put it off, it will do you no good. You may be heroes who escaped from Imperial lands, but alone the three of you won't be much of a problem. We shall bury your remains with honour. We're grossly outnumbered by Wilmer's forces. Perhaps if we could stall for a little more time. Their overconfidence will be their undoing. See how the soldiers are concentrated in the front and back? Race to the middle of the garden and use the obstacles to cut off their men. Buy us more time, Symbios. I mean, I can't help but feel like Egress and Angel Wing would probably be quite helpful here. It's not... this is one of the worst traps I've ever seen. I mean, they do know we've got Egress, right? Stupid enemies. And on that bombshell, thank you for watching. come back for the next part of Shining Force 3.